Welcome back to another Alliance War. For Loki, we are currently ranked 7, going into the 10th of 12 total wars of Season 7. We're almost there, almost at the end of the season, and our opponents today are Jokers. Going to go ahead and pop on a mixture of light and medium boost for this war, and if you take a look at the team I'm bringing in, Blade is back in action. Killmonger's out of here after that abomination of a war that I had last war. I really needed those poise charges back in my life. I need Stark Spidey to start out with those 3 poise charges. I value it so much for this path right here. Anyway, this first node is seems to be a diversity placement. It's a rank 1 6-star Cosmic Champion. I do go ahead and pop on the regen boost, not for this fight, but because I scouted out of what is most likely going to be a MODOK on the next node, and I wanted the regen for that. As for this fight, it is just a Proxima Midnight. And I do make a little bit of mistakes here. It's not a flawless fight. You can see right here I do, kind of forget that it's only a 2-hit heavy attack. I always confuse the heavy attack of Proxima and Corvus. Corvus has that 3-hit, and yeah, I was just hesitating because of that. But other than that, the fight goes pretty smoothly, and Proxima does go down without too much trouble. Thank goodness for those 3 poise charges, and no longer having to build up poise at the start of the fight, huh? Alright, anyway, on to the Bane Stun Immune node, and you can see it is a 565 Science Champion with that persistent charge, so I do know that it is going to be a MODOK, and that is why I had that regen boost on. So against MODOK, fought MODOK here plenty of times in the past, really just want to take out that shield that he has by tapping into him one time, backing out, baiting a heavy attack, and then that's how you get your openings. What's something else that I don't really point out as much is that you can get your special ones in even if his auto block is up, or at least if it activates midway through your special one. If you'll notice, as long as you start your special one animation before the auto block comes back, then you're good to go. I don't know if it works like that for every champion, but Void, you could certainly do that with Void. I have noticed with other champions, the auto block does seem to interrupt the special, so I don't know what the deal is there. I guess certain champions have different kind of hit locking mechanisms, but in any case, this fight actually goes quite a while. I can't remember ever getting Fear of the Void against MODOK on this node, but I have it right now. And eventually MODOK does go down. Alright, so moving on to node 24. This is the Limber Buffet Recovery node, and it is a 455 skill champion. And this skill champion turns out to be an Agent Venom. Actually, I had to scout this one just because the attack looked a little bit different than what I'm used to. But fortunately, I still have the regen boost on, so I'm not even going to use any potions. We're just going to hop right in with Stark Spidey. Alright, so the name of the game here is just to build up those poise charges, get to 10 if at all possible, and then start laying into this Agent Venom. The only thing to really watch out for is to not get backed up against the wall. You can see I'm kind of failing to build these poise charges, a lot of these hits. So because I get backed up against the wall, I forego the plan of getting to 10 poise charges, and we just start laying into Agent Venom right now. That's definitely something important to keep in mind, is that top priority is to not get backed up against the wall. Second priority is to build those poise charges. You could always get those poise charges at a later point in the fight as well, and you can see right here I'm at 10 again. So about to launch this special 2, which deals some pretty good damage. 2 of them crit, and you can see that almost takes him out right there, down in at 21% health left. Another 5-hit combo, and Agent Venom goes down. Alright, moving on to the mid-mini-boss, which today's mid-mini-boss is brought to you by a 6-star Thor Fraggle Rock. Not really too used to seeing Thor on this node, but I'm not too concerned. Just going to go ahead and heal up Void. Even though Void has the class disadvantage here in this fight, the fact that he can stop the power gain of Thor here, that's really the biggest reason why I want to take in Void. It is a buffet node as well, so of course I am going to start to reverse that healing, which is fantastic, but really, the goal is just to cancel out Thor's power gain, and from there, you can do this fight with pretty much anybody. So, luckily Petrify kind of handles both of those things. So the first special that I get off in this fight, that's really the only important one. You want to time that around the 20th hit, and technically you can time it one hit earlier. So if you launch your special when he has 19, when there's a 19 combo on his buff bar or whatever that thing is called, the first hit will bring it to 20, and then the second hit will actually cancel out that power gain. But on this node, because there's not any type of crazy power gain, it doesn't really matter. So I wasn't trying to maximize it, as best as possible. It really didn't matter, like I said. So, at this point I have 2 Petrifies up. Fear of the Void is about to take over. All the power gain that this Thor can possibly have is completely canceled out at this point. The other thing to watch out for in this fight is whenever you're fighting Thor, if you can help it, try not to intercept. I don't even attack into his block or anything like that, usually just on the chance that this dude will start dashing at me or something. He does have an auto block on intercept, so yeah, it's just a small thing to watch out for. But yeah, Fraggle Rock, he's nothing to be too concerned with, and he does drop relatively quickly. Alright, moving on to node 38. We have a tech champion here, a 6-star awakened tech champion on this aggression armor node, and I'm really not too sure who's going to be on this node. Turns out that it is a Yondu, so a little bit of unfortunate crystal luck from Arrow Flash here. Sorry to see that you got 2 Yondus. I mean, one Yondu is pretty cool. I like Yondu, but getting him awakened probably wasn't this person's first choice. But in any case, start the fight, and this fight is going to be just like any other, except you want to watch out for how you get your parries in against Yondu. You want to have some distance between yourself and Yondu before you go for a parry. You want him to use a medium attack when he's dashing in at you. He's connecting with a regular physical melee attack and not his arrow attack. The arrow attack you cannot parry, not with most champions at least. Unless they have a special ability to parry projectile attacks, like Proxima, for example. But, for the most part, you want to just give yourself that distance, then go for the parry, and then the fight is pretty normal from there. I don't throw this special one just because I don't want Fear of the Void to take over. I want the debuffs to be continually doing their damage instead of going to Fear of the Void, and I hit him with a special 2 to end the fight. Alright, almost home free in this war. This war I was a little bit nervous compared to the normal wars, just because of last war being such a bad war. And I actually pop on a little bit of a extra boost here. I pop on this 10% champion boost. Normally I take these last 2 nodes with just the 15% health, but yeah, it was definitely in my head a little bit about how poorly last war went. So I wanted to make sure that that I was well prepared to take out these last couple of fights. So this fight, I actually thought that it was going to be an Emma Frost as well. This person had, I believe they had an Emma Frost in their profile. And yeah, I was thinking it was going to be Emma Frost. Turns out that it was actually Rogue. They have Rogue and Emma Frost. And Rogue on this fight, or on this node, is really nothing bad. Rogue does reduce the duration of debuffs on her. So you can see my Resonate debuff just drops off really quickly. Of course, parries drop off insanely quickly. Can't really get my openings through parries. And I'm mostly just going to be baiting out heavy attacks, or now that I have her above a bar of power, I can just keep baiting out her specials and getting my openings that way. Fortunately, Void's normal debuffs here, they don't have any duration. They're permanent, so Rogue's ability to shrug off debuffs don't really matter here in this situation. And even Fear of the Void is a passive and not a debuff that can be shrugged off more quickly. So, Rogue is one of those champions where she's not difficult to fight, but she can be pretty annoying depending on who you're going in with. I always hate fighting Rogue when I'm using someone like Medusa, just because I can never get an armor shatter up, and even if I got it up, it would just get shrugged off really quickly. But yeah, in this fight, it's totally under control. Fear of the Void's up at this point. We're just going to add a few more debuffs, and that degen damage is going to go to town here. At this point, the only thing left in my mind is that I'm trying to not take any damage, since I am going to be using Void for the next fight too. So You know, just trying to stay as high of a keep as high of a health total as possible and finish the fight with 93%. A little bit of a scare here with some network connection issues, which hopefully is going to be fixed in the next update. I saw the patch notes, saw there was a little mention of it, and I really hope the connection issues go away, because, man, what a nightmare all this, you know, these little connection boxes keep popping up for every little thing you do in the game at the moment. But in any case, have the last fight of this war, which is the Strike Back Recovery node, and we have our old friend 6-star Unawakened Green Goblin back. I don't know how many times I've fought this guy in this node, but it has to be, he has to be the most common champion to see on this node by far. It's nice, you know, it's kind of nice getting to fight the same guy because you know what to expect, but I gotta say, it's a lot more fun fighting a variety of champions. So I'm hoping that you know, whatever Alliance War changes come, you know, maybe this will be one of the nodes that or different champions as they get released. Maybe this will be one of the nodes that people start putting newer champions on or something. But in any case, going through the motions here with Green Goblin. I've already got 4 debuffs up. Unfortunately, none of them are Petrify. Got a little bit of bad luck on the ordering here. That is going to drag out the fight a little bit, but not by much. You can see, you know, he's already taking a decent amount of damage compared to what he's healing back. And now that that Petrify is landed, get a second Petrify, and yeah, all of that healing that Green Goblin had going for him, it is all gone. I just end up blocking the special 2 there. You know, it's the last fight of the war for me. I don't need to don't necessarily need to evade it. You know, it's kind of depending how I feel in that moment, whether I evade or block the special 2s. Sometimes I'll evade them, sometimes I'll block them. But that's really good advice, I think, for anybody on your last fight, or even if this wasn't the last fight of the war. You don't necessarily need to be a pro at evading everything. You can just you know, block a lot of the specials if you're not absolutely comfortable with them. But in any case, that is my last fight of the war. We did go on to win this war. It was a pretty close one, though. So good work to you guys over in Jokers. And that is going to do it for this video. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one. Take care.